This is the magical staircase of disbelief, and I want to explain to you what it is. This first step, this baby step, is something just small, something that most people can wrap their head around. Something like the JFK assassination perhaps isn't exactly the Lee Harvey Oswald story we were told. Okay, the next one might be the moon landing. I know a lot of people think maybe we landed on the moon, maybe we didn't. So you take these baby steps all the way to the top and you end up where I'm at, knowing the earth is flat. But that's a really hard one to get to unless you've taken all these baby steps. So what I want to do in this video is give you a little boost to this second step and talk to you about the moon landing, and how the moon isn't even something physical like a big dusty crater that you can land on. So you can start taking these other steps to get to the biggest truth of all, and that's not even flat earth, it's God. So I'm going to play this video for you that has a few different things. It talks about how light doesn't reflect like it does supposedly from the moon 250,000 miles away. But there are a few different cool things in here, some proofs. I'm going to let you watch, and then I'll go into further detail, and then some more videos to open up your mind at the end.
In 1965, Professor R. Foster challenged the corrupt scientific complex by stating that landing on the moon was an impossibility. It is an impossibility, according to Foster, because the moon is plasma and not solid. Here is what he said in an interview.
What is your theory? Well, it is by now rather more than a theory. 10 or 11 years ago, I stated to various scientists that the moon is not a piece of rock, but it is plasma phenomenon, cosmic plasma, and that this fact will eventually be confirmed. I made certain predictions which were already confirmed in 1958, and the situation now is coming close to a complete confirmation. Scientific views expressed all over the world now that the moon seems to be of a quite different nature from what was assumed.
The Americans and Russians are thinking of landing men on it.
Well, that will never happen.
Our own access to technology in recent years has allowed us to investigate the moon in more detail. And through this, we see over and over again varying instances of the moon behaving in a way that debunks a lie that it is a ball of rock. We see with our own eyes a semi-transparent moon, either at night or while there is still daylight. We see the sky through the moon. Sometimes it is even possible to see stars directly through the moon. Many have repeatedly demonstrated that moonlight is colder than the shade at night, and therefore it cannot be reflected sunlight as it possesses no residual warmth. We also know that spherical objects do not reflect light. By the laws of reflection, the light concentrates into a highlight point and does not reflect.
So I just wanted to point a few things out. We have all seen this, how you can literally see the exact same color of the sky in the moon. That's impossible if it's what they tell us, if it's a dusty giant space crater. Okay, so here's one. I wanted to elaborate on this because I think this is such a huge proof that I've seen with my own eyes that the moon is not what we think. You should not be able to see a star, and I'm going to show you in a minute, you can even see planets through the moon. How is that possible? If the moon's supposed to be 250,000 miles away and stars are supposed to be a million miles away, it's not. So you need to start rethinking things and not just believing what you're told, but observe what you can actually see, and then figure out that that's what you're being told doesn't make sense with what you can actually see. And while I'm on this picture, I want to just point out to you, if you watch any of my videos, I talk about how the powers that be like to mock us. They even mock us in our flags. Look at some of these flags, literally putting this phenomenon in their flag, saying these people are so dumb they won't even realize that their own flag and logo is telling them that the world they live in isn't what they think. Mockery.
Right there, that's Mars, folks. It's not going behind the moon. You can see Mars right there.
The rest of the moon goes
Mars
this way.
Mars is supposed to be transitioning behind the moon, and it's right there.
Impossible if the moon is what they tell us. So this phenomenon was even documented way back in the late 1700s, 1794. Astronomers documented it. I want to show you that. I researched and searched and searched, and I found the actual writing of it. So I want to show you that next, and then show you a couple more videos to close this up. All right, you can see down there, Royal Society Publishing. This was in a book from 1794 talking about astronomy, and you can see that talking about the light of a star that you could be seen through the moon. They talk about it further down here if you want to read it. And then I want to show you the next clip that just further demonstrates this. All right, so here he talks about seeing a star passing over the moon, which he at the time thought was impossible, so he was questioning what he was seeing, but then he asked passerbys to look as well. And every one of them he thought that people would be ignorant and give weird responses, but every one of them he saw, they looked and they said, yeah, that's a star passing in place or in the space of the moon. So just further documentation. I want to show you a few more videos to just open your mind up to the fact that we didn't land on the moon.
Buzz Aldrin admits the moon landing was fake.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest. It didn't happen. It could have been scary. Circuit breaker.
His conscience is catching up to him in his old age.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
Can't lie to a young girl.
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something.
Fascinating. I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No,
which
you
was
didn't. No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. See, you associated what you saw with...
I have very hazy memories.
Yeah, I know.
Well, no, but what we saw was we all were gathered around the old rooftop radio and listened.
Talking about, how many feet we were going to the left and right, and then I said, contact light, engine stop.
It's
a few other
exciting.
things, and then Neil said, Houston, Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed.
This was
Man, how about that?
that was very exciting.
Not a bad line.
Yeah. This was. So, were you self-conscious about?
Who shot the footage?
Yeah.
He's walking out on the moon.
Stunning.
One giant leap for mankind.
He had a TV camera.
Where?
It was in the as he walked down the Lamb. He pulled a handle that deployed what was called a MESA, the Modular Equipment Assembly, Modular Equipment Storage Area, or whatever it was.
Armstrong taking that historic first step and becoming the first man to walk on the moon. Yes, Timmy?
Who shot that?
What?
Who shot that footage?
What do you mean?
Well, if Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon, then who's holding the camera?
We just pulled the thing in 1969 and it popped out in perfect setup.
Well,
Who's out there with the camera?
no, I know what you're asking. I'm just...
Seem interesting.
They all know.
I guess there's a real danger of that on this show.
There's a pressure.
Well, yeah,
yes,
people come out and they've run out of anecdotes, and they just start making stuff up.
Yeah.
Like that Neil Armstrong guy. Have you seen him on the talk shows?
Neil Armstrong, you mean the first man to walk on the moon?
Talk about a fish story.
Truth in plain sight.
Man, and they're buying it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, how? Come on, it's time to wake up to this. Take that first step on that staircase. If you believe this is anything but animation, come on, guys. Take that first step. Take that second step. Truth is waiting for you up top. Find it.